After that Aimperunkapiyam and Ainchirunkapiyam, we have to think about we have to talk about the Bhakti movement. The people normally ask one simple question. What, even in Sangam age, don't we have Bhakti? We had Bhakti. In Sangam age, we had the worship of God. We have been giving a worship on Quatravai or Indra. All these things told in those literatures. For example, in Sangam age, Veriadal is there. Veriadal means a person normally go into trance and start to dance. That is Veriadal. In Sangam age, Quatravai Vazhipadu was there. Quatravai means the goddesses of the Palai region, the desert region. The people used to go and worship Quatravai. If you go and see Patina Palai in Sangam literature, the fishermen and women, they usually worship to the god of ocean, the Varuna. All these details are given in Sangam age. And after the Sangam age, we are seeing in Silappadigaram, there are 11 type of worships. He is talking about 11 independent temples. I already mentioned in Silappadigaram, a temple on Shiva, a temple on Narayana, temple on Indra, Manmata, and temple on Vajram, temple on white elephant Airavadam, and temple on moon, and temple on sun god, and temple on Quatravai, and temple on Kandil Pavai. Kandil Pavai is a small deity in their village. And all these things are given in detail in Silappadigaram. Even after Silappadigaram, all other Jain literatures are talking about the worship of god and goddesses in their area. But whereas movement, in Bhakti movement, we started the Bhakti as take that Bhakti and we promoted the Bhakti to every corner of Tamil Nadu. So the scholars used to move from place to place with the help of the people, with the help of their own team. They went to every village and they renovated every temple in every village, and they started to sing a set of songs that is called Padigam, and they handed over those Padigam to the local people. If you want to get the blessings of the god, you have to chant these Padigam regularly, and they made every local people or every village people to understand or to chant and make them to worship regularly in the temple. So that is called movement. Sangam age, the worship was there. It was not given that much important. After the Sangam age, the Jainism and Buddhism did some sort of sizable damage to the Tamil culture. Normally I have to accept that word as damage, sorry. The sizable damage to the Tamil culture or the Dravidian culture. In order to restore the Dravidian culture, the scholars took Bhakti is the best way. Through Bhakti only, they restored the language, they restored the literature, they restored the culture of this land. Culture of this land means music and dance. Because Jains are not at all interested in music and dance, and Buddhists also not interested. Because every culture was having its own dance and music. If you go and verify in that Sangam literature, every set of people, every landscape was having a separate musical instrument. They were having separate music forms, because the music is the way how they are communicating their emotions and their feelings and their need to others through the music only. That was the condition in the past. But whereas during the Jains and Buddhist period, we lost all these cultural details. So the Saivite movement decided to reconstruct, decided to reform all these music, dance, and language and literature. Bhakti is the best way to motivate the people. Because in bhakti, people will follow blindly. They do not even ask why, what, where, and how. It is the easiest way. If you are going to worship this Lord, you will get this type of benefit. Because they made the people to understand the faith. Instead of fact, these saint poets gradually developed the faith in God. So all the people started to have the faith and they madly started to worship the Lord. So through that is the reason in Bhakti movement the dance went into the temple. The music went into the temple. Long back it was in the king's court. Long back it was in the public. It was in the public, then it moved to the king's court in Silapadigaram period. Because if you are going to see Madhavi in Silapadigaram, she was performing her first and the maiden program only in front of the king. So kings were encouraging the dancers, a separate terminology. Courtesans were there in the past.
Sir, when you say that it was in the public, it would be in common courtyards in the out space where public can come and watch.
Yeah.
That would be where any public can come and watch?
Yeah, because even in Silapadigaram, every year the Chola king actually conducting a festival on Indra. It is called Indra Vida. It will take a month to complete that festival. In that Vida, Madhavi has to perform the dance in the public. All the 30 days, she has to perform, not only the Madhavi, who are the persons having the Talakol title, who are the persons having and proper recognition by the government or by the king, they have to go and perform in the public. The same thing rightly mentioned in Manimegalai also. And the same thing is rightly mentioned in Chintamani also. In Chivaga Chintamani, the publics used to come and learn dance. Chivagan was having a friend, he was a dancer. So where the people usually go and learn the dance, that institution's name is known as Kutarapalli, where they can teach the dance alone. So normally the common people will they usually go to that center and learn dancing and they used to perform and some of them becoming the performers and some of them becoming the teachers in dance. It is rightly mentioned in Chintamani. So long back the dance was with the public. That's why every landscape was having its own music. According to that music, they used to perform. For example, if you are going to talk about Kuravanji type of dance, you have to see only in the hill station. So Kurati is belonging to the hill station, that's all. So that is the reason. So every land was having its own cultural inputs. In that cultural input, you can find the dance and music and the musical instruments. Right? If you go and read Kutala Kuravanji type of literature, you can find the description of the Kurati. You can easily understand she is unique in her nature because she is belonging to one particular landscape. So according to that, she used to wear the dress, the ornaments, her language, the slang, anything and everything rightly mentioned by the author. You can see all the Kuravanji invariably. There are 158 Kuravanjis are available. Because so long back the dance was with the public only. If you are not having that flavor, if you are not having the taste, if it is not run your blood, it is not possible for you to teach that particular dance and movement. So we learnt everything from the nature. Even every movement, what the movement we are using in dance, how we are using our legs and how we are using our hands, even our eye movement, neck movement, everything we are learning from the birds and animals. Right? So that's why even we are what the hand gestures we are doing in Bharatanatyam nowadays, some of the Bharatanatyam hand gestures are having the name of the animals. Sarpasiram, it's a reptile's name. Mrigasiram, it's animal's head. So because we are getting everything, every human is getting his details only from his environment. only from his nature where he is living. So that is the first condition. So after that, then they started to develop the skill of communication. If you go and see the anthropology details, there you can find how the people started to communicate with each other. Only through their body language initially. After that body language, they added the sound. After inventing the language, these body language and sound lost its importance. This is the basic theory of
Sir,
anthropology.
sir, please can you repeat, sir? I lost it. After the body language and sound?
After inventing the language, the body language went to the field of dance and the sound went into the field of music. Right? So the language becoming the communicational tool and the dance and music becoming a part of their entertainment. Right? That was the condition. If you go and verify the anthropological details, so every culture, every set of people, every clan of people are having different style of dance and a different style of footwork. That's why the grammar book on dance Panjama Ravi is talking about the footwork. It is the Dravidian school of footwork. This is the Aryan school of footwork. This is the footwork of Sinhalese. So because in those days there are three type of people were in Tamil Nadu. So according to their behavior, the author is talking about the footwork of these three categories. So every person, if you go and see the people in hill station, how they are climbing up, how they are walking, that type of walking and climbing attitude, you can't do it in the plain. Then if you go on to see the agricultural field, how they are walking and how they are behaving, that type of behavior and walking, you can't adopt in the city life. So every landscape is having its own way of behaving, its own style of behaving, that automatically reflect in their dance, that automatically reflect in their music. And every language is having a different slang. Every region is having a different slang. You can automatically see that slang in every literature. If you are going to see the Kuravanji, you can see the slang of that area. So that is the beauty. So in the past, the dance and music, both the things were in the hands of the ordinary common people. Then it becoming elite, becoming a classical one. Then they moved to the king's court, and it moved to the elite people. After that, during the Bhakti movement, having the problem with the Jains and Buddhists, we wanted to preserve this music and dance. We automatically given it to the temple people. So then only after 5th century.
When we talk about Bhakti movement text, what time frame are we looking at?
5th century AD to 9th century.
Okay.
The beauty, I'll tell you one thing, from 5th century to 14th century, not even a single literature written on the human characters. Any literature totally based on either on Lord Shiva or on Narayana or on Ambigai or on Vinayaga or Muruga. And every temple was having some sort of cultural activities. They used to conduct lot of festival. In every festival, they used to have a music and dance. That is the major problem in that culture, in that dance and music form. Because long back in the dance and music, people used to talk about the human love and the human emotions. But in the Bhakti movement, everything moved into the temple. Then people started to talk about the divine or the God's emotion and the God's Bhakti. That's all. That is a major problem. So everybody is saying what's wrong in that. It is having a lot of problem because once you are moving the human emotion from human to divine, automatically you are losing the human value. Long back, if you are having a problem with you, start to fight with that problem and come out of the problem. But once you are going to think about the God and that all, you are immediately go there and praying to the God and start to expect the help from the God. And you are not concentrating your own strength, you are not concentrating your own power. Tirukural says what it says, Idumbaikku idumbai padupar. If you are having a problem, you have to think about the problem and try to find out the way how to solve the problem. Then only you will be free from that problem. But whereas what the Bhakti literature says, if you are having a problem, straightway go to the temple and tell to the God and He will take care of it. How it is. The same thing happened to the dance and music also. So dance and music's major aim is to communicate among the public, and they have to give some sort of aesthetic pleasure to the public. That's all. That's the most important thing of a music and dance. If you are going to listen to music, if you are going to watch a dance, both the things are giving some sort of pleasure to a human. So if you are going to sing a song in the temple, there is no reciprocation from the God. Because I don't know, because in Bhakti literature, people are saying all the saint poets had some sort of reciprocation from the God and that all. I do agree whether they may had it or not, that is different. Because Jnanasambandar sang a song and got a detail from the Lord Shiva, okay, Jnanasambandar can get, but not Raghuraman. Because if I am going to step into the shoe of Jnana Sambandar, what are the things Jnana Sambandar received from the God? The same thing I will not. Definitely not. It is not possible also. So, because the Bhakti literature made the people lazy. The Bhakti literature made the people as coward. Sangamage says, if you are having a problem, go and fight. If you are having a problem to be rectified, go and think of what is the ways and means to rectify it. But whereas the Bhakti literature says, better go and pray to the Lord and He will take care of everything. How it is possible? It is not at all possible. So the purpose of Bhakti literature is totally defeated later on. The Bhakti was a tool to restore the culture, that's all. After the restoration, what would have done? Would have totally leave that Bhakti movement. Now we are concentrating what is the purpose of the Bhakti movement, we are totally forgetting it. But we are following only the Bhakti. What is the main and the most important thing in the Bhakti movement? Bhakti movement wanted to restore the culture, restore the language, restore the traditional culture of Dravidians from Jains and Buddhists. That was the main aim of this Bhakti movement. After the 9th and 10th century, we Nagari style of Dravidian Nagari style of construction. So it is our own temple. That temple construction is unique. So all over the South India, we started to develop our own construction, our own architectural details, our own music, our own dance and that all. But at that time, you tried to withdraw the bhakti. But what happened? We started to carry forward it even till date. So that's why we are thinking everything from temple. It is not. It is not. So only from the temple you can get only the divine, only you can get the bhakti, that's all. You can't get everything from the temple. Because what everybody is believing, Lord Shiva is created the language. Nowadays, everyone is saying Lord Shiva is actually the root cause of creating Sanskrit and Tamil. If so, what about the other languages? There are thousands and thousands of languages in India. In the world, there are many thousand languages. Even the Dravidian language, that itself having 640 languages. Then how it is possible? So it is not that much convincing story. So the art form, they wanted to, if we are seeing the history in the during the 14th and 15th century up to 16th century, the Renaissance in Europe. Likewise, that is the Renaissance period of Tamil during the 5th century. That's all. That Renaissance we started to accept through bhakti. That is happened in the literature, in the history. But through bhakti, they proved a lot. After the bhakti movement, the purpose of the bhakti movement, when it is done, we would have liquidated it. But we do not want to, because bhakti is the best shield to cover every mistake. Because it is the best shield to cover every mistake. If you want to edit, you can edit, I don't mind. If you do not want to edit, I don't mind also. That too also I don't mind. Because that is the easiest way we are having. So through bhakti, you can say anything and everything. Whether it is right or wrong, whether it is rational or wrong, it is possible or not, you can talk anything about bhakti. Because of that, because that is the reason everywhere you can see a lot of saints. And everyone is started to talk about religion, talk about philosophy, talk about the culture, and everybody is thinking that they are the great, and everyone is having their own people, a set of people. So, because the bad president is the bhakti movement, I used to say. After restoration, they would have stopped it. Then what are the details happened in that bhakti movement, we will be seeing in the next session. After the bhakti movement, the purpose of the bhakti movement, when it is done, we would have liquidated it. But we do not want to, because bhakti is the best shield to cover every mistake. Because it is the best shield to cover every mistake. If you want to edit, you can edit, I don't mind. If you do not want to edit, I don't mind also. That too also I don't mind. Because that is the easiest way we are having. So through bhakti, you can say anything and everything. Whether it is right or wrong, whether it is rational or wrong, it is possible or not, you can talk anything about bhakti. Because of that, because that is the reason everywhere you can see a lot of saints. And everyone is started to talk about religion, talk about philosophy, talk about the culture, and everybody is thinking that they are the great, and everyone is having their own people, a set of people. So, because the bad president is the bhakti movement, I used to say. After restoration, they would have stopped it. Then what are the details happened in that bhakti movement, we will be seeing in the next session.